Release any tension you are holding on to. The golden light bathes the hips. Imagine space in your hip joint. Your pelvic floor muscles have released. Your muscles feel heavy and warm. You are healing and letting go. Feel the sacrum imprint into the ground. The hollow of your lower back is released. Your spine is long as the ball of light continues up to your shoulder blades. Imagine the golden light dripping down your arms and collecting in the palm of your hands. Bring your attention to your jaw. Allow it to soften. Your forehead is relaxed. Return your attention to the golden light in the palm of your hands. If you would like, place your hands on your belly or anywhere you desire healing. Take this moment to be grateful for your body. Take this moment to be thankful for your commitment to your health.
Take your time coming into a comfortable seated position. Thank you so much for spending your time with me, and I wish you all the best on your journey. Let's begin by centering ourselves. Abby has had a recent hip surgery and she's doing really well, and she will be showing us some modifications for practice. So this is an example of a comfortable seated position for her. So come to your comfortable seated position. Notice your energy. Notice your breath. Feel if you're holding any tension anywhere. And if you would like to, make an intention for your practice today. and let's begin. We'll start coming onto your back and bring your knees into your chest. And again, as comfortable as you are with this, they can be in a little bit further and they can be out this way. She's going to take both knees around in a circle, and you can bring your hands to your kneecaps if you'd like as well. You can also bring your hands behind your thighs and reverse your circle. Great. And Abby, bring your left foot down and do the same thing with just the right side. Again, within a comfortable range, we're warming up the hip socket, getting the synovial fluid going, and reverse directions. And switch legs. This is also a great release for the sacrum in the back. This should feel very comfortable. If you need a little support, you can put a towel roll underneath the small of your back. Good, and bring your foot down. So we'll go into our pelvic tilts, flattening and arching the spine. This is a great spinal massage. This should be comfortable. It should feel like a rocking motion. Great, and take your time. You should really enjoy this movement. It should feel really, really nice to release the low back. And now take it from side to side. So we're going tilting one side to the other side. We're outlining the triangular bone, the sacrum in the back. Great, and then bring yourself back to neutral. So now we'll do a full revolution around the clock. So come back to 12, and come around to the side, and down to 6, and down to the other side. Perfect. This motion is probably going to feel a little bit awkward at first, but you're going to do great. Just try to move any way that you can and you'll eventually get the pattern down. And reverse your circle. If you feel any area is a little bit more stiff, you can work on that range. If you feel like the 2 to 3 o'clock feels stiff, you can work in that range. And if it all feels good, just take your time moving all around. Great. And bring your arms out to the side. Bring both knees over to the right and look towards the left. Take a nice deep inhale here. So we're getting a nice fascial stretch all through the side there. Great. Using your abdominals, come back up to center and then bring your knees over and look to the right. Again, inhaling, feel the breath expanding in the rib cage. Great, and come back to center. Now we'll spin around onto your stomach. So however you are comfortable laying flat on your stomach first. Great, and bend your knees. And we're going to bring the feet from side to side like windshield wipers. Great. If this bothers your low back, then you want to put a pillow underneath your belly. It's a nice stretch for the hips and for the back too. And bring your feet down. And come on up into Sphinx position. So you're on your elbows. Great. And Abby's doing thumbs up. This is a great way for her to do it. You can also have your palms down. And the shoulder blades are down the back, and she's doing a really nice job here of having a nice neutral cervical spine, I can tell from here. Shoulder blades are rooted down the back. Pubic bone presses into the floor. Great, and come on up onto hands and knees. So from this position, we'll go into our cat dog. So exhale. Curl the spine looking at your belly button, and inhale looking forward. And exhale looking at your belly button, and inhale looking forward. Great, and exhale. You see how she's getting a nice flexion through that mid-back, pushing into the floor. Perfect. And now wag the tail from side to side. is a nice stretch for the lumbar spine. And Abby's got a nice breath going. I can hear it. That's great. Good, and come back to neutral. So from here, I'm going to have you come into a child's pose, or for Abby, it'll be a modified child's, which will be rocking back to her point of comfort in her hip and coming forward. Again, the most important thing is comfort and breathing. If you feel like you can do a full child's pose, go for it. This is where she is right now with her rehab. Great. And from here, we'll do thread the needle. So raise your right elbow and then thread it through, gently resting the head on the floor. So you can see the nice rotation she's got here through the mid-back. And while you're here, imagine that the sit bones are pulling apart gently, and you have a nice stretch through the pelvic floor muscles. You may also feel it a little bit in the hamstring, and definitely through the rhomboids in the mid-back. Great, and come back up to neutral, and we'll do the other side. If you're having trouble balancing, make sure you're pressing the tops of the feet into the floor. You can use your right palm to give yourself more pressure or less pressure. And come on back up. So we'll go into arm leg extension. So bring your right arm forward and left leg back. And if this is too much for you, you can do just the arm or just the leg. And switch. So we're keeping a nice neutral spine here. Abdominals are in. Great core stability exercise. The multifidi in the back are very important stabilizer muscles. This is a great way of getting those. Great. And come back into a couple more rocks. Perfect. And now from this position, I want you to come into a dog tilt. So you arch the spine, tuck your toes under, and come into a down dog. And again, in down dog, you want to make sure that your knees are bent if you feel any pressure in the back. Great, and come on down. Perfect. And I'm going to have you spin onto your back. So take your right ankle and cross it over your left knee. This might be where you feel a stretch, and if you do, that's great. You can stop there. Abby's got a little bit more flexibility now, so she's going to lift up her left leg, thread her hands through, and grab behind the thigh. Good, and switch to the other side. So you should feel a great stretch up through the glutes, through the back of the thigh. And bring your feet down. Lift your right leg up, and you can grab behind your thigh. Now this is a great hamstring stretch. You can also use a strap if you feel the need. So Abby, if you'd like to throw this around your foot. She happens to be very flexible. She doesn't really need it. So that's another way to stretch. You can also bend and straighten the knee to have more of an active stretch. And now take the foot out to the side and across midline. So she's getting a little bit of the outer thigh and the inner thigh. A little bit of the hamstring on the outside, a little bit of the hamstring on the inside. And a little bit of the adductor too. Great, and let's switch sides. If you don't have a strap, you can use an old tie, you can use a towel. Great, and I'll take that strap. Good, so now we'll come into a bridge pose. So start by flattening your back into the floor and lift up one vertebrae at a time. And slowly come down. Let's do 2 more. If you feel any pressure on the knee, you can adjust your foot, either by bringing it closer or further away from you. And you can also play around with the width of your feet. Great. So another stretch that I like is a frog stretch. Abby's going to show her modification. Perfect. And she's going to rotate a little bit side to side. You can also do this, either on a pillow or flat. Whatever's the most comfortable for you. Good. And try the other side. Remember, this is not a competition. It's not about reaching a certain position. The goal here is just to be moving mindfully with your breath and comfortably. Perfect. So now we'll come to Nadi Shodhana, our final breath before Shavasana. So I'm going to give her my pillow here, see if she likes to sit on that. It's going to give her a little bit of a boost, so you want to sit on the edge of the pillow a bit more. And bring your hands to Vishnu Mudra. And plug your right nostril. Exhale through the left. Inhale. Switch. Exhale. Inhale. And switch. And repeat this in your own time. As you're performing this breath, feel your sits bones grounded into the floor. There should be a sense of length through the top of the head. And shoulders are relaxed. Great, and now we'll prepare for Shavasana. And coming onto your back, let's move this pillow underneath your head. Perfect. Enjoy.
Imagine a ball of golden light is hovering at your feet. Allow this ball of light to encourage your muscles to release as we scan through the body.